1 minute to post time, approaching the gate. They enter at the post. Now they're moving into the gate. Open range.
Man, I love that intro. The old Portacan run at Pimlico, a tradition like no other, right? Hello, it's Billy Ho here again, and we're going to do a preview video for the 148th running of the Preakness Stakes from Baltimore, Maryland, Pimlico Raceway, and smaller field. Normally you can get 14 horses in, but a lot of times horses defect and they can't get enough. So we're probably going to have somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 contenders to look at. I'm not going to do all 10. We're going to try to get it down to a top 5. So stick around because I will have a top 5 at the end of the video. So I do want to thank everybody for watching. Thank everybody for all the subscriptions. Be sure, if you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button, smash that like, and hit the notification bell too, by the way. That'll let you know when other videos are coming out, because I'm going to do, as we get a more clear picture on the Preakness and who's in, who's out for sure. And post position draws are not as important as the Kentucky Derby, but you know, they're definitely important. So anyway, what we're going to do now is we're going to start. I'm going to go ahead and start with the horses that will miss the Preakness. Forte obviously got put on the 14-day DL for his hoof, so he's not going to be eligible. The major player to defect is Two Phils, and they just didn't feel like the 2-week rest was enough for him to come back with his best stuff. So error on the side of caution from the connections there. I believe other ones, it doesn't look like, I haven't heard official word on Practical Move, but I thought maybe, you know, the elevated temperature is just, you know, it's been 2 weeks since then. I thought maybe they would try to get Practical Move in there. But other horses like Angel of Empire are also skipping for the Belmont. So that's probably going to be what Two Phils and Angel of Empire look to do. So basically that leaves the 149th Derby winner, Mage, probably going to go off as the morning line favorite. And I really don't see any reason to doubt the ability of this horse to get leg 2 of the Triple Crown. The competition doesn't seem to be as fierce. And, you know, obviously the second horse was lost in the fanfare of Mage is the second horse since Apollo in 1882 to win the Kentucky Derby unraced as a 2-year-old. And we all remember the first one a few years ago, Justify, and what that horse did, won the Triple Crown. So anyway, so basically I feel like it's Mage and then a gap between the next horse up, which is people like First Mission, which coincidentally enough is also a horse that was unraced at 2-year-old. So we're going to take a look at the Lexington Stakes right now, where First Mission had a nice stalking trip to victory a few weeks back. And we'll pick it up down the stretch here. And as he gets inside position on the 11 horse Arabian Lion, he was able to handle Arabian Lion. I don't know if you call it boring in, but Arabian Lion, the jockey Irad was trying to get him back into the 2 path, I guess, or whatever. But the horse just they brushed coming down the stretch basically. And so he had the inside position, but then he shook off that brush and then basically said, that's enough of that nonsense. We're getting ready. We're going to go on and win this race. So he goes on to the win. And then they're in this same race, Disarm, who ran a valiant 4th in the Kentucky Derby. He ran 3rd in this race. And I mentioned in previous videos that he was putting out just enough to get that 3rd place points. It was after he realized he wasn't a factor, in my opinion, to win the race. The jockey eased up on him a little bit to save for another day. And Disarm did run very well. That was and I thought it was a really great ride by jockey Joel Rosario. in that race to avoid traffic at every turn. I mean, if it, I'll run through a little bit of the Kentucky Derby as I'm talking, and if you and this gun runner horse is definitely going to be a top five for me. And then you have Chad Brown's Blazing Sevens, who's trying to take the path of early voting by skipping the Derby and maybe coming in and being a contender. But I didn't. I looked back and I thought Blazing Sevens had a little bit better resume than this, but it's really been since the big stakes win last year as a 2-year-old. It hasn't really been super overwhelming this year. So I'm not really sold on Blazing Sevens just yet, but it is a Chad Brown horse, and Chad Brown gets them ready off layoff. So we all know, well, I know that. But anyway, my sneaky peek play in the Derby was Confidence Game. If you watch my videos, Johnny V, I thought would give him the ride. That horse is the one in Green Silks, and that is the 4 horse. Uh, got a great break, and we're going to take a quick look at the break and a little bit of the race while I'm talking. Great break, got inside, saved ground, kept in the first flight the entire race, had room on the inside to make a break for it, and made a pretty good run, but just didn't have enough gas in the tank to keep up with it. And it was probably it was a pretty hot pace. So I think maybe if he got another ride like that, could go off at a decent price as maybe the third choice on the board. And so I'm looking at that. And of course, there are others like Bob Baffert's National Treasure, and there's a deep closer, Red Route 1 in the mix. So, you know, it depends on what shakes out the next couple of weeks. But before we get out of here, I wanted to talk about the horse Perform, who won the Federico Tessio Stakes at Laurel Park. And this is a win and in for the Preakness. And Perform is the number 7 horse. I had to show this race because it was really wild. Anyway, we're picking it up down the stretch or back turn down the stretch, halfway mile. He had already stumbled out of the gate, right? And then regrouped and got saved some ground and was in the back of the pack for the whole race at the half mile where we're picking it up. And at the turn for home is still not really in the mix, but this is where it gets interesting. The 1 and the 5 are heads up, and the 7 gets squeezed on the inside, so he tries to move out to about the 3 path or so, and then tries to get back inside, only to get squeezed again. And then moments later, the door opens up for him, and he clears on the inside, and then makes this massive weaving move to get outside of the 5 horse and to clip him right at the wire. I just thought it was such a wild ride. I do think Perform has a shot here, and I'm not just going off the bias of watching this video. I think the horse is improving step by step, and Hall of Fame trainer Shug McGahee still needs the Preakness for his career Triple Crown. So to close things out, I'm going to have Mage number 1, Confidence Game number 2, Disarm 3, First Mission 4, and I am putting Perform at number 5. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to subscribe and like the videos. And until the next time, we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.